Now, some say the earlier you start up, the better, which explains why so many students are trying their hand at entrepreneurship. They believe by your mid-30s, you may be well past your prime to turn entrepreneur. But is that really so? In fact, today we take a look at those who have had up to 3 decades of corporate experience, tasted tremendous success and made big bucks, yet in their 40s and 50s, they've decided to give up their secure jobs to start out chasing new challenges and a desire to innovate in the startup space.
He worked with Ernst & Young for 25 years, focusing on innovation, and that's what finally led him to alter the course of his career. A few years ago, Sunil Chandiramani noticed many of his peers leaving to try their hand at entrepreneurship, and after some thought, decided to take the plunge himself. Tremendous success at work, secure finances and a stable job, while being coveted by most of us, he says, are a golden handcuff. Not easy to give away, but essential to pursue your dreams.
I was leading the Global Innovation Task Force for EY globally, where I met numerous different partners, and each one had gone out and done something different. And that really got me thinking for saying, what's holding me back from pursuing my dream? I no doubt enjoyed everything that I did, but I had this dream about going out, working closely with entrepreneurs, making a difference, actually taking them IPO, and earning my fortunes through equity share rather than through a salary. And at that stage of point in time, I said, it's time for me to move on. I've done everything that I could. I've grown it into one of the largest practices in India, within the firm itself. And I said, I can do more of this, or I can pursue my dream. So that was my tipping point, and I said, I got to go pursue the dream.
Sunil took the plunge and Nayaka Advisory Services was born. The company works with entrepreneurs, hand-holding them when it comes to strategizing their finances, calculating risks and getting their company on track. The move, of course, came with its own set of challenges, but this 46-year-old still feels it was worth it.
You've been in an organization that long, you're at the helm, everybody knows you, you've got a full infrastructure going through for you, you're earning a good amount of money, there's consistent cash flow, you don't ever have to think twice about that. And when you start thinking about the other side, clearly you think about the fact that, well, you're going to start from scratch zero. What's it going to cost you to doing it? Are you really going to make money in the first few years? Are you not going to make money? Will people join you? Will you get clients or not? And therefore there's a huge fear factor as well at the other end.
From one Sunil to another, Sunil Moti Lala is one of Asia's top-ranked counsels in taxation and transfer pricing, and has under his belt 14 years of independent practice, a 3-year stint at PwC and 3 years at KPMG. But this wasn't enough. He went on to set up law firm Advaita Legal before leaving it in 2 years to start SML Tax Chamber, clearly bitten by the startup bug.
Normally when you leave a large organization, you either join a competing organization or you start an organization which competes with your earlier organization. Whereas in my case, my earlier organizations may in fact be my clients. I may be a service provider to them. So the reason is simple. Once you start an organization, you get again into the same rut. You have budgets, you have targets and things like that, and I wanted to avoid that really.
Evidently, there's no age bar to turning entrepreneur. And while some have done it in their 40s and even 50s, others are doing so after a decade of working for a big corporate. The IT boom took Bipin to top firms like Intel. After 7 years, he says he needed a new challenge and decided to branch out on his own.
I am an IT graduate, passed out in 2002, and I worked as an engineer for most of my corporate career, starting my career at Intel. Then I worked at NVIDIA and Freescale Semiconductors as a chip designer before I decided that I need to venture out on my own, and that's how I started MobiQuick. I was just bored of my corporate job.
It's never too late to be an entrepreneur, so if you believe you have what it takes, this may be the best time to take the plunge. With Ankita Sinha and Abhishek Singh, Natasha Jog, NDTV.
So the moral of that story, it's never too late to become an entrepreneur. On that note, we're going to take a short break. Coming up next, thank God it's Friday.